In this video, we are going to talk about how to use RankMath SEO plugin to optimize your WordPress website for better search results. So what is this RankMath SEO plugin, how you can install and configure on your WordPress website, and how it can help you optimize your WordPress website for better search results. So we're going to cover all that in this video. So let's dive in. Hi, my name is Ankit and welcome to Magazine 3 YouTube channel where we talk about everything related to WordPress. So if you want to learn more about WordPress, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload a new video. So whenever we talk about optimizing WordPress website for SEO, the plugin that everybody knows is Yoast SEO plugin. And we have also covered Yoast SEO in our previous videos. If you want to go ahead and check that, you can check the link in the I button above, and I'll leave a link below in the description for the complete playlist if you want to learn more about Yoast. So Yoast SEO plugin is a very known player when it comes to optimizing WordPress websites for search engine optimization. And now we have a new kid in the block, that is RankMath SEO plugin. And the features and the options that it provides, it's quite promising. So basically, RankMath is also a search engine optimization plugin that can optimize your WordPress website and help you get indexed and get better search results in search engines like Google, Bing, or Yandex. So let's go ahead and dive in the WordPress backend and I'll show you how it works. So now we are in a fresh copy of our WordPress setup. So to install RankMath, we will be using the free version in this tutorial. So to install that, we will go to plugins and then we will click on add new. And from here, we will search for RankMath. So this is the RankMath SEO plugin. So let's go ahead and install that. And then we will click on activate. So once we click on activate, this is the first screen you will see to start the installation process of RankMath on your WordPress website. So on the very first screen, it's asking us to create a free account on RankMath. You can go ahead and create one. You will just get some helpful newsletters as well. So I'm going to skip this for now. So I'll click on skip now. And here on the next screen, we have three options how we want this setup to forward. Either we want a easy setup and advanced, or custom made, which is for pro version. But we will stick to advanced so that we can see each and every step and each and every settings that we are doing while setting it up on our WordPress website. So once the advanced is select, we will click on start wizard. Alright, so on the next screen, it's asking us the general information about the website. So in the first point, it's asking us to choose a type of website it is. So depending upon your category, you can choose a personal blog if you are building this website for a blog, or if it's for a news site or a personal portfolio, small business. So you can choose whatever option fits best for you. I'm going to select business website. And from here, we have an option for what type of business it is. So here we have a lot of options and you can choose accordingly. And if you don't find any option fits for you, you can go ahead and select local business. So I'm going to select that. So here in the company name, we type in the Magazine 3. Below that, we have an option to upload the logo. So let's go ahead and upload the logo. So here is our logo file. Let's click on use this file. Alright, so below that we have a default social sharing image. So if you upload an image here, then whenever you share any URL of your WordPress website on any social media, this image will be used as a cover for your shared link. So here we again choose the logo. And after that, we will just click on save and continue for the next step. And here we have an option to connect Google service with this RankMath account. So it's because we need to verify our website before we can get all the data from that. But I personally do not prefer this way. There is a better way. You can get your website verified using RankMath itself in Google Search Console. And the benefit that you will get by linking your RankMath account to your Google services, that you can get all the informations right in your WordPress website. I would prefer not to have that because it's unnecessary going to create a burden on my backend to run all the scripts, graphics, and all the other data transfer from RankMath to Google and then to our website. So we can avoid all that by just using the platforms like Google Search Console separately and Google Analytics separately. So if I need to track the keyword and all the details, I can go to my Google Search Console and do the things there. And if I want to check the traffic and the traffic source and other details, I can log into Google Analytics account separately. So that's my personal choice, that I do not prefer to have all the information dumped into the WordPress backend. So it's better we keep all of them separate. So it's completely up to you. It's just one step process. You will just need to click on yes and verify to connect your RankMath account to the Google services. So you can go ahead as per your wish. So for me, I'm just going to skip this step. Alright, so now we have an option to enable sitemaps, which we of course want. Below that, we have an option to include images in the sitemap. So let's turn this on so that our images can also get read by Google or any search engine, and then they will get indexed in the search results. And below that, we have public post type. So we will keep selected as post pages, because we want that SEO title and description option on all the posts as well as on the pages. Below that, we have an option for public taxonomies. So I personally prefer to keep this on so that I can add content on my various category pages as well. So with that, we will click on save and continue. Alright, so below we have non-indexed empty category. So if there is nothing in the category, it will not index that. And no follow external links. So it will add a no follow attribute to the links that are pointing outside your website. So you can turn that on. And below that, we have open external links in new tab, which is very handy and good option. So now in the RankMath, we have it as an option that we want all the external links which are going outside our domain. So we can keep that link as open in new tab, so that every time someone visits that link, they do not disturb the actual view of your website. They just migrate in a different tab in the browser, and then the website will open up. So that's a very good option here. Once that is done, we're going to click on save and continue. So we are almost done. So here it's asking us to enable auto update for the plugin. You can keep that on and let the plugin gets all the updates whenever they are released, and you don't have to dive in the plugin section and hit on update every time. So the plugin can get updated anytime whenever there is a stable update. So after that, we go ahead and click on setup advanced options. And here we have an option for role manager. For example, on your website, we have different authors and different people who are logging in and doing all the stuff in the backend. So you can restrict the access of all the features in the website depending upon their login role. Below that, we have similar settings for author and contributor and various other roles. So now we go ahead and click on save and continue. Alright, so the next advanced option is 404 monitor. It happens when somebody is trying to access a page on your website which is not there. So you want a monitor or a check on that. What are these pages, and if people are searching for a broken link on your website, so you can turn that monitor on. And we will explain this 404 monitor from RankMath in a detailed way in the next video. So stay tuned for that and subscribe to this channel for that. And below that, we have an option for redirects. When you turn that on, you have an option to redirect any old broken page to a new page. Let's go save and continue. And on this section, it's asking us to choose the schema markup. So this markup settings is actually the USP of RankMath. And here you can select the schema type for your posts, that is your blog posts. So they will be articles. You can also choose course, event, postings. So if in case you have a recipe blog, you can go ahead and select the post type as recipe. And below that, the schema for pages will stay as article. So we will keep the article type as article. So that's gonna stay the same. And once that is done, we will click on save and continue. Alright, so this is the first screen or the dashboard from RankMath, which actually looks very much better than Yoast SEO plugin. Now, just in case you install RankMath plugin and you don't see the installation wizard at the first instance, then you can go ahead and start the installation wizard from here. So you will be back in the installation wizard once you select that option. So let's go back. And here we have the 404 monitor turned on, and these are basically the same settings which we have configured a few minutes ago. And below that, we have the RankMath Google console for analytics and all. And below that, we have a bunch of options. So we will select image SEO as on. We will select instant indexing as on. So after doing these small changes, we go to the next tab, which is help. So here you can connect your RankMath account and you can create your support tickets from this page itself. After that, we have the setup wizard. Again, it will start the installation wizard for this plugin, which we have already covered. After that, we have settings for exporting and importing this plugin setting. So if you have another WordPress website where you want to install the RankMath SEO with all the settings that we have just covered a few minutes back, so you can click on export and export all these settings. You can export all these settings and import them in a new WordPress website. So this is again a very handy option where you can just export the things from this RankMath SEO setup, and then you can take that setup and install that on a new website. So that will save a lot of time. Alright, so now we have the plugin installed, and if we take a look at here on the left hand side, we have the RankMath option listed in this. Now we will go ahead and take a look at each of these options one by one. So let's begin. So the first option is analytics. So again, for the analytics, we need to connect our Google Analytics account to our RankMath account, and our Google Analytics will be visible in the WordPress dashboard itself. But again, as I said before, it's not good that you load your WordPress backend for something which you can easily go ahead and open in a new tab and see the analytics in the Google Analytics account itself. So I'm gonna pass that option, and we will go to general settings, and the first one is links. So here we have the first option, which says Stripe category base, again, which is very similar to what we have seen in Yoast SEO as well, that you can remove the base category of your URLs. Like, so for example, if you have a URL like example.com, then category, and then your blog post URL. So if you keep this option on, then your root category will be removed from the URL. So the new URL will become example.com / and your page or post slug. So you can keep this option on depending upon how you want your URL to show up. After that, we have redirect attachments. So this option is very helpful for a situation where someone is searching for images in Google and your image is showing up in the search result, and if someone clicks on that, so the user will not get redirected to the image itself on your website. It will actually redirect to the page where that image has been embedded. So again, do not do anything with this option. It's perfectly fine here. Below that, we have redirect orphan attachments. Now again, we take the example of image search. If someone is searching in Google for some image and an image from your website shows up in the result and someone clicks on it, but that image is not added on any of the posts or pages, then where you want the user should go. So in that case, you can enter the URL here. By default, it will be the home page of your website. So you can leave it as it is. Below that, we have no follow external links. So by default, it's perfectly fine. You can leave it on. And below that, you can leave all the things as it is. At the end, we have an option to open external links in new tab or new window. So we will keep it on so that if there is any URL which is taking users or visitors out of our website, then those links should be open in a new tab so that the user can stay on the website for long. So once all that is done, we're gonna click on Save Changes. Alright, let's move on to the next option, that is breadcrumbs. If you want breadcrumbs to be visible on your website, you can turn this option on. But sometimes when you turn on breadcrumbs, it can break your site as well. It actually depends on how your theme handles breadcrumbs. So if you know that your theme can handle breadcrumbs very well, then you can just turn this option on. Otherwise, leave it off. Below that, we have option for images. Below that, we have an attribute for add missing alt attribute. Now, first of all, let me just turn it on and then I'll explain what it is. So for example, if you are uploading an image in the WordPress backend while creating a post or any page, and once you upload that image, by default, WordPress assigns the name of the file as the title of the image, but it always leaves the alt tag blank. Now, it is very helpful for search engine optimization to have a alt tag entered in all the images. So if in case you do not want to enter all the alt tags separately, and if in case you have recently added this plugin on your website and you know that there are many images where you have not assigned the alt tags, here is an option. You can assign a variable from WordPress backend right now, which is file name. So here you can use this file name as the alt tag for all those images which are missing with this alt tag. So you can use file name as a variable, or maybe you can use site title, site description. So there are a bunch of other options. Below that, we have an option for add missing title attributes. So you can turn that on. You can assign a title for all the images which are missing with a title tag. But I doubt that you need to do that because it is an inbuilt feature in the WordPress. As I mentioned before, whenever you upload an image in WordPress media library, the file name is automatically get assigned as title for that image. But that's not going to change the title for all the images. It will only add the missing title attribute. So just to be on the safer side, you can turn this option on and then you can add some title here. So once that is done, we're going to click on Save Changes. After that, we have the Webmaster tools. Now here is the point, we can verify our website in Google Search Console. So instead of linking our RankMath account to the Google services, we have this option to verify our site in Google Search Console. So for that, we first need to search for Google Search Console. So here is the website for Google Search Console. And once we are on that website, we just need to click on Start New. So if it is your first time to log in Google Search Console, you will see a blank screen. But if in case you already have a Google Search Console and you have added few websites in your Search Console, then you will land up in the last visited website. So to add a new website and then verify that in Google Search Console, we need to go to this option here. And from here, we need to select this Add Property. Once you click on that, you will see a new pop-up where we have two options, and we will select the URL prefix option, which is a pretty straightforward and simple to use. Here we will enter the URL which we want to verify in the Google Search Console, and then we just need to click on Continue. And then we will get to this stage where we have few options to verify our site. We can download an HTML, upload it in the WordPress, upload it in the FTP backend, and we can verify using that. But here we're going to choose the HTML tag verification process. So here is the HTML tag. We're going to copy that from here. We will go back to the RankMath backend, and in the Webmaster tool, Google Search Console option, we will paste the meta detail here. And similarly, we can get the HTML tag for Bing and other search engines as well. So once that is done, we will click on Save Changes. So now we have added the meta tag for Google Search Console. So let's go back in Search Console and click on Verify so that Google can check that we have actually added this code or not. And once this check is complete, we will get a green signal that now your website is listed in Google Search Console. So once you click on Go to Property, it will land up on the dashboard of Google Search Console for that particular website. Alright, once that is done, we now go to next option, edit robot.txt, and you don't have to do anything here. It's just for the advanced users. If you don't know how to handle it, then leave it as it is. Below that, we have other options where show SEO score to visitors, which is actually not required. Below that, we have RSS feed options. So if you are using RSS feed on your website, you have various variables which you can use to customize your RSS feed. So if you want to use that, you can go ahead with that. And below that, we have edit htaccess. So this is again an advanced option. If in case you do not know how to handle that, please do not touch it. Below that, we have 404 monitors. Here right now we are at the simple mode. We can turn the advanced mode on, and that will give us some more data. So right now we will keep it as simple, and we will cover 404 errors in details in the next video. And after that, we have log limit. So it will show 100 log limits at one time. And here we have the exclude path. For example, if you don't want any specific URL to be considered as error, then you can enter the text here or the key phrase here, and then RankMath will not count that URL as 404 errors. So after that, we just go ahead and click on Save Changes. Below that, we have an option for redirects, which is useful to fix the 404 errors that you will get on your website. Now you got the 404 error and you saw that in your monitor here. And now you have an option to redirect these visitors to a good page. so that they just don't hang on the 404 error page and they just bounce back. To avoid that, you can redirect them to a good landing page. So we will cover that in detail when we discuss about 404 monitor in a separate video. So here we have an option to redirect type. So here is an option which allows us to choose what type of redirections we want to assign to any 404 error URLs. So right now it's 301 permanent move. So let it be as it is. Auto post redirect, I will leave it as it is. So once that is done, we go to analytics. So once again, this is the same option as here on the top. So once again, this is the same analytics as we have option here. So we will leave it as it is. And once that is done, we now move to titles and meta details. So on the first option, we have robots meta, which means how your pages or the post will be treated by the robot.txt or the search engine when they come on to your website. So right now we have index as default. So of course, whenever search engines start reading our website, we want our website to be indexed. Option is already selected. We don't have to change it. So below that, there are some advanced settings. You don't have to edit that. We now come down to an option for separator character. So when you are entering the SEO title for your website and you are using variables, you can use this separator in between. So these are the options we can choose. So this one is the most convenient. So we will choose that. So below that, we have an option to capitalize title, which of course we don't want. We want sentence case as a normal text. So we will leave it as it is. And we have an option for open graph thumbnail, which is our logo right now. We can update that, and this image will be visible for all whenever we share our page or post on social media. If we do not assign the social media image for our posts and pages, this image will be taken as a default thumbnail, and same will happen for the Twitter as well. Once that is done, we just click on save changes. And after that, we move on to local SEO. Now, if your website is for a local business, then these settings are for you. So here is an option to select if it is a person or a company website. So we will select it as organization. Below that, we have a name for the organization. Below that, we have an option for logo, which we have already done from the installation wizard. Below that, we have the URL for the company, the email ID, and pretty much straightforward basic details. So for your local business, you can easily enter all these details. And once that is done, let's go ahead and click on save changes. Below that, we have the social meta. Here you can enter your Facebook URL. Below that, we have an option for Facebook authorship. So if you want to showcase the Facebook URL for your website authors, you can do that. And same for the Facebook admin. And if you are using any Facebook app for handling comments or doing anything on the website, then you can enter the Facebook app ID here. And same goes for the Twitter as well. So once that is done, we move on to our next page, that is home page. And the first option is to enter the home page SEO title. So these are the variables which will make our home page SEO title. So we will leave this as it is because we will be assigning SEO title and description on every page and on every post. So again, we have the home page title for Facebook and description, and the image that we want will be visible as a Facebook thumbnail whenever someone shares the home page. So all these settings can be done on the page and the post level. So you don't have to do it here. So we will cover all that in a minute when we edit a blog post, or we will do the home page itself. So below that, we have authors. So if in case you have multiple authors on your website and you want to show the archive pages based on the authors, you can go ahead and enable that. But right now we do not have multiple authors, so we will keep it disabled. But let's see what all options we have. So below that, we have author base. So the archive page for authors will have the URL as yourwebsite.com/author and then the actual author slug. So this will be the URL for the author archive pages. Below that, we have the option to assign a title for these archive pages. So you can assign a generic SEO title here using all the variables available in the WordPress backend. So you can do that from here. Similarly, you can also assign a description for that author archive page. And we have an option for SEO meta box for users. So if you are adding authors from the backend from the users here, then it will show a SEO meta box at the bottom. So if you enable that option, you don't have to assign author title here and the description here. You can assign specific SEO title and description for all the authors that you add from the backend, like you add on pages and posts. So if in case you are not allowing SEO meta box for authors in the backend, then you should assign a title and description here itself. Below that, we have miscellaneous pages like your date archives. I will keep it disabled. And below that, we have the 404 titles. So right now it's page not found. After that, a separator, and then the site name. So you can again play around with the variables here. So using these WordPress variables, we can create our SEO title for all the 404 pages. And similarly, we can assign the title for search page results and various other pages. After that, we have an option for post. We can assign a post title here and the description, which again we will leave blank because we will be assigning the title and description on every post separately. So here we have an option for what type of schema our blog post will be. So if your blog posts are all recipes, you can select recipes as the schema type, and for general articles you can leave it for general. Below that, we have an option for headline and for the description as well. So we will again leave it blank because we can do that all from the backend. And the article type will be article or blog post. So you can select any one of them. Another good option in RankMath is that it will give you link suggestions, that it will start scanning your content and it will suggest you to link the other pages from your website so that you can create a very good long pillar post for your website. So this option is pretty interesting. So below that, we have option for add SEO meta box, which of course we want to add SEO meta box on all the posts and pages. So once that is done, we click on save changes. And after that, if we move to pages, we have almost the same settings here as well. We can choose the schema type as articles, and we have all the settings same as we have seen for posts. So again, we do not have to do anything here. After that, we have the settings for attachment, which we have already assigned in the general settings. After that, we have the option for categories, which is for the post categories on our website. And here we can assign the SEO title and description. Again, you can do that on each and every category itself. If your SEO meta box is on, then you will get the search title and description option on all the categories in the WordPress backend. So no matter what you assign here, you can always override when you create a category in the backend. So we will leave it as it is. And after that, we have tags. So you can enter the same SEO title and description here. But by default, tag archive are set as no index. It means the tag pages, the archive pages which are based on tags, will not be indexed by Google, which is both good and bad. If you don't know how to use tags in a good way and you just randomly assign tags to your post or pages, then it can create a problem for your WordPress SEO. But if in case you know you are using very specific tags or very limited tags, then you can mark the tag archive pages as index, and then Google will start reading your tag pages as well. But by default, it's no index, so we will leave it as it is. And again, we have an option to add SEO meta box on tag pages. So these are the title and meta settings. After that, we move on to sitemap settings. So here on the very top, we will see the sitemap for our website. So let's open that in a new tab. And for a sitemap, we will have maximum of 200 URLs in it. And we will include images in the sitemap. So that option is on. Include feature image, which is not required because we have already added all the images from here. So if there is any post which you want to exclude from sitemap, you can enter the post ID here, which is a good option. If you don't want to show anything in the sitemap, you can hide it from here. And here is an option for ping search engines, which says it's automatically notify the search engines when sitemap gets updated. So whenever a new URL will be added in the sitemap, the RankMath will automatically notify Google and other search engines that a new URL has been added in the sitemap, and it is a good sign that you will have more frequent reads or more frequent crawling from the search engines on your website. So this is a very good option here. And below that, we have different sitemaps for posts. We have sitemap for pages, for attachments. It's not included in the sitemap by default. If in case you are using your attachments deliberately and you have a SEO strategy for that, then you can go ahead and include these attachments in sitemap. Otherwise, you should leave that. Below that, we have an option for taxonomy like category sitemap, and you have the sitemap for tags. So if you want, you can go ahead and include tags as well in your sitemap, but it's not preferred. But you should include the categories in the sitemap where we have the category sitemap.xml, and it will not include any category which is empty, which do not have any post in it. So it is a good option. So we will leave all the things as it is. And after that, we have an option for instant indexing. So here is an option where you can submit your website for instant indexing. For that, you need a Bing API key. After that, we have an option for role manager. Now, if you have multiple users on your website and you want to assign different roles depending upon the login type, like for administrator, they have all the options enabled. So depending upon the role of the user, you can assign what they will be able to access and what not. Once that is done, we will update this page. And after that, we will move on to 404 monitor page. So in the 404 monitor page, you will see all the 404 errors that are generated on your website. So for example, let me show you one error. Let's say we open this URL and then we will type in any junk character after that. Let's say, and we search for that. And as soon as we open that URL, we know that we will land up on a broken page. So let's go back to our 404 monitor. Let's refresh this page. And now you see that we have a new entry in the 404 monitor. And once you see that there is a 404 error, and you can fix that by redirecting them to a certain page. Now you see the error is here. And here is an option for a destination URL. Now you know that a 404 error is generated with the URL source this. And now we have an option to assign a destination URL so that people don't face this 404 error again. So if anyone types this URL, we will redirect to the home page of our website. And this redirection type is 301, the permanent move, which we have already selected in the backend. And once we add this redirect, so now we have only one hit for this 404 error, and we have already assigned a redirection for that. Now if someone visits this URL again, they should get redirected to the home page. So let's go back on this URL. Let's hit on enter. And now you see the 404 error is gone and it's back to our home page. So please excuse the design. I have not done anything here. The idea here is that you can avoid these 404 errors and then you can easily redirect your visitors to a meaningful page. After that, we have the redirection options, which we have already seen. So here is all the redirections which we will create. After that, we have the SEO analytics. Again, for that, you need to link your RankMath account and then link it to Google Analytics. So below that, we have status and tools. So here we have a version option. If you want to roll back to any old version, you can do that from here. And below that, we have an option to opt in for beta, which I do not recommend if you are using this plugin on a live website. So do not do that. After that, we have an option to automatically update this plugin. So you don't have to update this plugin manually. So if you want, you can just turn that on and then it will update automatically whenever there is any update from RankMath. After that, we have the database tool. So these are pretty advanced features that you don't have to bother about. So again, system status, pretty much advanced feature. After that, we have already covered imports and export. Now, after doing all these settings in the backend, let's go and dive in a blog post and see what all options are available when we use RankMath. So here we have a sample blog post and we just go ahead and click on edit. And now we have a big giant title here. It actually depends what theme you are using. So I'm just using the default theme. So here we have a small sample of content here. Now let me just turn the camera off so that you can see all the settings properly. So here is the option to enter the RankMath SEO settings. First of all, we need to enter a focus keyword. And in this case, we will enter focus keyword as yoga poses for kids. And once that is selected, the RankMath SEO will start analyzing our content, and based on this focus keyword, it will give us few suggestions as well. So let's go ahead and edit our snippet first. So here is the default snippet, which is actually using the variables. So we can remove that and enter our own yoga poses for kids. As soon as we enter our focus keyword, it will get highlighted in the title. And now we can also enter a variable. So for example, we want to enter the current year. So as soon as we enter the variable of current year, you can see that in the title we have 2021, the year that we are recording in this video. So below that we have an option for permanent link. So we will change that as well. So we will change it to yoga poses for kids. Now we have entered our focus keyword as the slug for this blog post. So these are actually the small things that we do to optimize our blog post or our website page, and RankMath analyzes all these details and give us a score. Like right now it's 70 out of 100, which is in a okay stage. And now we move on to our description, and here as well we will enter something related to our focus keyword. So let's say we have entered this description, and as soon as we enter that, you see that our score went from 70 to 72. So the more your blog post or your web page becomes SEO friendly or optimized, the better score you will get for RankMath SEO here. So in the next step, we can enter the title and description for social media as well. So as we have seen in the backend, our default thumbnail is our logo, but we can change that. So if we go ahead and add image, and we can upload an image from here. So let's say this is our image, and let's select that. So here is the thumbnail for our Facebook. Not the best image, but you get an idea how you can update your featured images or the thumbnail images for social media at every blog post and every page that you are working on. So here we have an option for title and description. Right now it's just taking the same title and description that we have entered for in general. And again, we have the same thing for Twitter as well. So let's close this one. And our current score is 72 out of 100. And if you go down, we have an option to check the errors and suggestions. So here we can see the basic SEO. We have a red mark here. It says content is 368 words long, and we should enter at least 600 words article. So as soon as you enter more content, you will see that this sign is now becoming orange. So if you enter more content, it will become green. So right now our content is more than 1000 words. So now we have a green sign here, and we see that focus keyword does not appear at the beginning of content. It's showing a red cross here. So let's go on the top of our content, and let's say we enter our keyword in the beginning of the content. So we will enter yoga poses for kids. Now we see that from red it turned to green. So you of course need to do a better job and a better humanly job. You do not have to stuff keyword here and there just to get a better score. Remember, all this score and all these green signs are just a parameter from this plugin. You don't have to compromise the readability of your content. If you think what you have done is better for your readers, then move ahead with that and ignore if there is any warning or any error here. So keep your readers on priority, not the score on any SEO plugin. After that, we have some additional errors that we can fix. If you think you can fix that without compromising your content readability, then go ahead and fix that. Otherwise, leave them as it is. So these are some general suggestions. So these are just some general suggestions from the plugin so that you can score better in their parameters. But these parameters are not guaranteed for getting top results in Google search results. So this is how we can optimize our blog posts and pages. And once we are in all posts section, we see that we have the RankMath score here as well. And we can see that our focus keyword is also visible here. Now once that is done, let's go ahead and submit our sitemap in Google Search Console. So here is our XML sitemap, which is the index of our sitemap page. As you can see that on this sitemap underscore index.xml, we have three sitemaps, that is post, page, and category sitemap. So we only need to copy the file name from here for our main index XML file, and we go back to our search console, and from here we go to Sitemaps, and here we just need to enter the name of our XML file, and then we just click on Submit. And now our sitemap is successfully submitted in Google Search Console. So whenever we add a new article in our post or in pages, or whenever we create a new category in the WordPress backend, that will get added in this sitemap, and then Google will start reading that. So if we go to our post sitemaps, we can see that we have one blog post here. So that's the one we have added here. So once we start adding more blog posts here, they will start getting added in our sitemap as well. And then Google will start reading these new links on our website, and we get a better chance that we will get a better results in the search ranking whenever someone search for our focus keywords. So this is how you can install, set up and use RankMath SEO plugin to optimize your WordPress website for better results in search engines. If you like this video, then make sure you hit like, and if you want to see more videos related to RankMath and WordPress in general, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you will get notified whenever we upload our next video. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.